Hello and welcome to Good Morning Terra. I'm here with Mother Nurgle. I'm Sleeping Bear.
And I have a question for you.
Okay.
I think I have a question for you. I think it's a law question. At least it's a question for someone who knows more about, 40k than I do.
We'll give it a shot.
So, when you guys talk about Thalassa or Aaron's planet Autumn,
Yes.
you use some classifications, I think.
There are definitely classifications of worlds in the Imperium. There are a lot of classifications for worlds in the Imperium.
Okay.
And we use them sometimes.
So, Death World, I'm guessing it's because the planet is dead?
No, that would be Dead World. Death World means
of course
that...
there's a difference.
Death World means that the flora or the fauna is actively trying to kill you and succeeding a lot of the time.
Okay, so with Thalassa, it's the ocean wants to kill you.
Yes, or at least everything in the ocean. Like there are lots of monsters in the ocean that wants to kill you and do so.
And they do it well.
Yes.
Okay, so Thalassa is that just a death world, or can it be more than that?
It can, and it is.
And it is.
It's also a hive world.
And a hive world, that's like Necromunda, right?
It sort of is. Necromunda is most definitely a hive world. It means that there are very, very, very big cities on it.
Okay, but Necromunda, then there is some industrial underhive and such. Is this the same with Thalassa?
I would presume so. There is like a lot of industry going on because idleness is not something we do in the Imperium of Man, so they need to
No, you don't.
You don't. So definitely there will be a lot of they modify or produce modified versions of a lot of tanks and weapons that are made for amphibious warfare there.
Nice. So are they a forge world?
No, they are not. A forge world is controlled by the Adeptus Mechanicus and produced like Mars and Rusa and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they produce all the very advanced stuff, like plasma weapons, if they're still being produced any of those, and stuff like that.
Are there?
I believe there is.
Okay.
I believe there is. But not very many.
Okay, so Forge World, that's all about the industry.
Yeah, they generally also have...
Producing stuff for export.
For export. They generally have pacts with the other branches of the Imperium, like the Imperial Guard and the Adeptus Astartes and all those, for producing their advanced weaponry.
Okay, and in hive worlds there can be some kind of production like the House Fansar?
Yeah.
Yeah, they produce weapons, right? But on a smaller scale.
A smaller scale and generally not quite as advanced as what the Adeptus Mechanicus do, or at least then you're allowed by the Adeptus Mechanicus to do so. And overseen by the Adeptus Mechanicus.
So is Thalassa allowed to produce their
I believe they are. I haven't talked to Ron about that, but I believe they have been allowed by at least some part of the Adeptus Mechanicus. There might be discussions about that. Discussions meaning wars.
Is there Adeptus Mechanicum headquarter?
In Thalassa?
No, in the world.
In the
universe.
Yes, Mars.
That's Mars. Okay, Mars. So that is their headquarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not everyone agrees with everything Mars does.
Of course not. It's a big empire.
Yeah.
Okay. So on Necromunda, they import food, right?
They do, and most hives do. Most hive worlds do.
But Thalassa doesn't, because they have been out of touch with the rest of the empire, and if they were dependent on food from elsewhere, then they would be extinct.
Yeah. So they have the oceans to rely on.
So the ocean is both a threat and a source of food, and
yeah.
Also, I think I've heard Ronan talking about them exporting water.
Yes, because they have a lot of water. Lots of plants in the Imperium don't have a lot of water, so they export water.
That.
So yes, and so they they are dependent on their oceans, but they don't like their oceans very much.
Okay.
Because they also try to kill them.
Death world.
Death world.
So another death world, could that be a world with no water and just desert?
It could, if there is something in the desert trying to kill you.
Okay, so if there is nothing there, then it's a dead world?
Yep, a dead world.
A dead world.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the flora, like the plants or the animals, the fauna,
are trying to kill you, then it's death.
Yeah.
Death and dead, yes.
Yes.
Just to make it easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Thalassa. Is that all the classification?
No. Then we have like the
I'm
most
trying
common
here.
actually is civilized world.
Okay, and that means that they have a rule or a king or...
No, actually that means just that they are in the ballpark of normal imperial tech level.
Oh, it refers to the tech level, so it has nothing to do with being, well, civilized.
Nope, you can have a king or a ruling council or the strongest is in charge. That doesn't matter.
And you can have civil war where they all killing each other.
Yep.
But it could still be a civilized world,
Yeah.
because it's a tech level classification.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about Awesome?
Awesome, we'll get more into detail about that, but Awesome could be a civilized world, but it's actually a feudal world. A special
So with
classification.
peasants and such.
Perhaps. In most cases there would be peasants, but what it actually again refers to is tech level.
Oh.
Feudal world in most cases means that there is a medieval to pike and shot era level
But
of
that's not how I see Awesome.
No, but that's because Awesome is a night world, which was a subclassification
With a K.
With a K.
Okay.
With a K. Night, because there is a night household, which has its base and which rules Awesome.
Okay.
Which makes it a subclassification of feudal world, but with higher tech.
That makes no sense. You know this, right?
I know this.
Okay.
Maybe there is one bureaucrat in the entire Imperium who also knows that it makes no sense. However, right now he has to triple file everything, so it will take a while. And he is in the Submentum Obscurus, which is a long way away from Terra.
Fair enough. And Awesome.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Okay, so Awesome is ruled by a knight or a knight household.
Yes, the High King of the Night Household.
Okay, and it's not a hive city. There are big cities, but they are not big cities.
No, they don't span like an entire continent or something like that.
Okay, and they are kind of civilized but feudal.
Yeah.
Okay, is that tech level below feudal?
There is feral.
And I'm guessing that's tribes.
That's tribes and such. Very low tech level. Usually with an imperial, a planetary governor, which is the imperial representative, who isn't actually part of the normal population, who is apart from that because he has to answer to the Imperium. Thus, he knows that there's space travel and stuff, and he might not even they might not even be from that world.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can a feral world be a death world where the population is not part of the Imperium, but is counted as, well, animals?
No.
No. If it is humanoids, then it's
It's
a feral world.
It's a feral world.
Okay.
And they will be counted as part of the Imperium. If they don't believe, they might not even know they're Imperial citizens, but they will be Imperial citizens.
Okay. Fair enough. So that is feral and feudal and civilized.
Yeah.
And Forge World, which is even higher, and then there are hive cities, which are somewhere in between. I'm getting the feeling that this is two separate systems.
Yeah, well, actually, there's another whole system for counting them.
Oh my god.
Because now we get into, like, Fourth World kind of has it, but who rules these worlds and who do they answer to and stuff
Oh,
like that.
so whether it is Adeptus Mechanicus
Or Adeptus Administrorum, which is most parts, or even Adeptus Ministorum, which is the church, the ecclesiarchy.
Okay, so what kind of worlds do they have?
They have two kinds of worlds. Cardinal worlds, which
is old churchy.
which is like a normal world but ruled over by a cardinal, and usually
so that could be a hive city.
that could be hive cities.
Okay, a hive world with hive cities. Yes, but so that classification depends on who the ruler is.
Yeah, and then there is shrine worlds.
Shrine worlds. Okay.
They are always dedicated to a saint, an imperial saint, and attract a lot of pilgrims, but are also ruled by the Adeptus Ministorum. Again, these can be like either a death world or a almost dead world, not a completely dead world, but almost like.
Can you have an almost dead world?
No.
No. Okay. It has to be either or.
Yeah, then would probably be like a feral or civilized or something like that.
Fair enough. So that animated movie, which is awful, really, is that a shrine world?
Yes, that would be a shrine world.
That's a shrine world, but it could be a more populated world.
Yes, it could.
Okay, so that's not confusing at all.
No. Then we also have classifications based on like what they produce to something. You have mining worlds, industrial worlds. You can have a mining industrial hive world.
I hate you. So Thalassa exports water. Is that mining?
No, that would. It might actually count as mining. It might.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So that could be a mining world.
Yes, and of course it's also an ocean world. But these classifications are rather simple, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Ocean world.
Ice world.
Jungle world.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Okay. Fine.
And then there's Jazz Giants as the final classification.
And I'm guessing you won't go there.
Unless you're on a research station, which is a final classification of worlds, which is not worlds, but actually just research stations, and that's fairly self-explanatory.
Yes, so there could be a research station on all kinds of planets, but including dead worlds.
Yes.
And gas giants.
Yeah.
Okay. Or circling in orbit around. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I get it so far.
Yeah. I think actually we're just missing one, and that's kind of the nicest one.
There is a nice one.
No, actually we're missing two.
Okay.
And one is bad and one is nice.
I think we have three then. Okay. One bad?
Yes.
What is bad?
Fortress worlds. A world designed for war.
Okay, that does not sound nice.
Everything in this world is about war. It generally gets attacked a lot. And everything is designed to defend those. Like the cities are designed to defend. The most example would be Fallen Cadia.
Okay.
That's
I don't know a lot about Cadia, and well, it has something to do with the god. But right.
Yeah, it's on it's on the path out of the Eye of Terror.
Okay.
So it's straight on the path of every Black Crusade.
Yes. Okay. So it's a weird place to inhabit, really.
Yeah.
But they are all about the war.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a bad one.
Then there's the nice one.
Okay.
Paradise worlds.
I would love one of those. Can I have one?
If you're a very, very, very important person in the Imperium, you might be able to visit one, yes. And
it's a VIP planet?
It's a VIP planet. It's where they go for their luxury vacations.
It's just wrong.
Yes. It's while...
Are they populated?
Generally, they have a very low population, like at least permanent. Maybe just some locals who like serve the various VIPs, like
more wine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's bad.
Yeah.
I think I have heard of another classification.
You're right. I did forget one.
I did. You did?
I did. I think we rounded the Adeptus Astartes homeworld.
No, exactly, homeworlds. I've heard of homeworlds.
Yes, homeworlds. Homeworlds are planets to which an Adeptus Astartes chapter, like a Space Marine chapter.
So like awesome and The Dark Angels.
No, because the Dark Angels don't have authority over Awesome, and they don't recruit from Awesome.
Okay.
So that's the two terms that have to be criteria that have to be met for it to be an Adeptus Astartes homeworld. You have to be. The chapter has to recruit from there and has to have authority over that place.
So Necromunda isn't a homeworld either, even though the Imperial Fist recruits.
No, because the Imperial Fist recruits from a lot of places over which they don't have authority.
And the same with the Dark Angels.
Yes. An example of a homeworld would be Fenris.
Yeah.
From which, because the Space Wolves.
Space Wolves. And Macrack?
Macrack,
yeah.
Which the Ultramarines both rule and recruit from.
I've only seen the posters, the propaganda posters from Macrack, and it looks like a paradise world, but I'm guessing it's not.
It's not as bad as it could be, actually. Macrack is not that bad. That's more like, you train a lot and stuff like that, but it's not like Fenris, which is a death world as well, which is actually trying to kill you with giant ice drakes and stuff like that.
So is that an ice world?
That would be an ice world, a death world, and an Adeptus Astartes home world, for example.
Okay, and probably a shrine world as well. I have no idea.
I don't know if it's a shrine world. No, it's not a shrine world because it's not ruled by the Adeptus Ministorum.
No. Right.
But it would be a feral world as well, or a feudal world. It's on the borderline there.
Okay. All right. So is that it? What? Oh, I have a question then.
Yeah.
Terra, what is that?
Terra is a hive world.
Hive? It's a hive world?
Terra?
Yeah.
Terra is most definitely a hive world. It's almost one big hive at this point, or at least a couple of big hives with a little bit in between. But
so who's the ruler?
The ruler, that depends a bit on the timeline, but some would say, of course, it's the emperor.
Yeah, but he's
busy.
Maybe.
Then we would say Rupert Gilliman, because he's now.
So then it would be a homeworld.
No, because he has not as chapter master of the Ultramarines or Primarch of the Ultramarines. It's because he's master of the Imperium right now.
Another hat. Yes.
Another hat. But for the longest time, it was under the direct rule of the High Lords of Terror, which is actually the ruling body of the Imperium. But Rupert Gilliman announced himself to be leader of that body. So it's
So are they Ministorum or?
They're all of the above. So it's that's beyond classification in some
Terra
ways.
is special.
Terra is special.
Well, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
If a planet should be special, it should be Terra.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I should be fully equipped to actually participate in discussions about worlds.
Yes, you should. And so should you.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. Feel free to ask questions or make corrections and discuss in the comments below, because not everything is completely clear, and not even if you read a lot about it, it's not necessarily clear. So go ahead, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.